So my grandparents rescued me out of a drug house when I was a year and a half old. So my dad was already out of the picture. My mom was there, but not in a mental state to take care of a child. My grandparents stepped in at 45 and 50 years old and took me in and got custody of me and gave me a loving home. And at the age of 11, my grandfather, 3 days after being diagnosed with cancer, died. I needed a father figure. I needed somebody there with me, to help me through those teenage years. He was gone, and I was confused. I was frustrated, and not only that, but my family completely deteriorated in the midst of all that. I went through my teenage years, and I had no family there. I had nobody to talk to about it, nobody to help me deal with the pain, having suicidal thoughts and not wanting to be here at all. I didn't want to live, and I continued to hide that pain. Yeah, so over the course of that time, I also began to turn to things that would help me numb the pain. I didn't believe there was any possible way that there could be a God because I was dealing with all this pain. But God really stepped in through a friend I had who began inviting me to church about halfway through high school. We hung out together a lot, and then I ended up being his roommate in college. And all during that time, though, I was still partying, still drinking, still making bad choices. And I really hit rock bottom at 21. Ended up in the ER after a drinking incident, and ended up really deciding that I needed to make some changes. I ended up going to a fall retreat, which was actually on the 10-year anniversary date of when my grandfather passed away. And I remember hearing a worship song called Grace Like Rain. And I remember experiencing for the first time God's love and God's presence overwhelm me, and feeling emotions that I had stuffed for years. And I decided to start following Jesus during that retreat. The transformation for me really happened a couple years later, after I came back from college and got connected here, Living Water. Started going to the Living Water college group, started building friendships and got a community around me, started serving and getting plugged in, started reading the Bible daily. The God of the universe, the God who loves me, became a father to the fatherless. He became my father, and I now had security. I had a rock that I could stand on, a foundation that I could stand on that was unshakable. And I had a family around me, a church family that loved me and cared for me, and I had a community of people that were around me and helping me to, even now, going through difficult circumstances with my family. And still, again, the circumstances aren't ideal, but God is still faithful, and I still have that trust in Him, and that's been the turning point of my life.